Hello and welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the top 5 fastest cars of 2023. But before I show you guys, I just want to quickly shout out these people on the screen for subscribing. If you want to also have a chance of receiving a shout out, make sure to simply drop a like and subscribe for more. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Alright, so kicking off with the number 5 spot goes over to the Devastator 8. Now, this vehicle I have actually put in some other lists in the past. Now, the reason why this is making the number 5 spot is not only how good of a vehicle it is, but just the overall price for it isn't as bad as some of the other vehicles on this list. Now, you're probably wondering how much it does cost. It actually does set you back just under $1.8 million just for the base of the car. But if you want to unlock its true potential, you will have to spend another $1.1 million on the HSW upgrades. Not only this, but you'll have to further pay for more upgrades. But trust me, this is definitely one of the fastest cars and probably one of the nicest vehicles to handle with on GTA 5 Online. Now, the only downside to this vehicle that I have noticed is actually how wide of the body of the vehicle is. Aside from that, this is a pretty good car, especially if you are looking to expanding your car collection, or you just want to have a faster vehicle to compete with in other races and so on and so forth. Now, for those who are wondering how fast it goes 151 miles per hour. But anyways, let's move over to the number 4 spot. Kicking off with the number 4 spot, we do have the Bravado Banshee. Now, this actually might be a huge surprise for a lot of people, but it is actually surprisingly quick with all of the upgrades to max. Now, if you're wondering how fast this actually goes 153 miles per hour, which is actually 2 miles quicker than the Devastator 8. Now, you're probably wondering how much this does cost. Now, there are actually 2 different price points. One is $105,000, but if you guys do own the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack, you can actually get this car for free. But do not be satisfied with that price, as you'll have to pay a whopping $1.8 million for their HSW upgrades. Not only this, but you'll also have to pay further prices just to fully max it out and reach its true potential. Now, if you actually wanted to, you can also make this into a drift build. Now, I actually do not recommend doing that, especially with the HSW upgrades, but if you wanted to, the option is there. Now, the only downside to this vehicle that I could actually really find with this thing is that it actually cannot turn very well, especially with making sharp turns. But anyways, let's move straight into the number 3 spot. Now, for the number 3 spot, we have the only next-gen car on this list, and this goes to the Karin S95. Now, fun fact, this is actually based off my favorite car in real life, which is the Subaru BRZ. But anyways, you are probably wondering how fast this car goes. It actually goes 155 miles per hour with max upgrades. Now, there are actually 2 different price points for this car. Now, one, if you do want to go for free, you actually do have to beat How Special Works' time trial, or if you wanted to, you can pay $2 million just to get the car. Now, when it does come to actually upgrading the vehicle to the HSW upgrades, you will be set back $525,000, but compared to other vehicles on this list in terms of upgrading the vehicle, this is actually the cheapest by quite a fair bit. But overall, the car does have some very nice performance upgrades with it. Now, the acceleration and the top speed does make up for it. However, the only downside to this is the braking. The braking is actually probably the worst on this list. But anyways, aside from that, this vehicle does have an overall great performance. But anyways, let's move over to the number 2 spot of the fastest car in GTA 5 Online. Moving over to the number 2 spot, we actually have the Sterling GT. Now, this might actually be a surprise to many, maybe not, I'm not too sure. But now, the reason why this vehicle is very good is that it actually goes 156 miles per hour, which is actually 1 mile more than the number 3 spot. But anyways, this is actually also the cheapest vehicle on this list by quite a fair bit as well. With a price tag of only $900,000, you will only get the base car, but if you also wanted to get the HSW upgrades, it will actually set you back $975,000. Now, for being the cheapest vehicle on this list with a price tag of less than $2 million, and for being the second fastest car in the game, this is definitely a win-win situation, especially if you're on a budget for buying cars. Now, for what you are receiving when you're getting this car, there are almost no flaws. The acceleration, the top speed, and the braking are all pretty nice and smooth to work with. Now, the only flaw, which actually might not even be a flaw for some of you guys, is that this vehicle feels very heavy. Now, you will definitely notice this when you do drive the vehicle. Now, what I do mean by when this vehicle does feel heavy is that when you do ram into a vehicle, you will feel like that you are going to just smash the vehicle compared to some vehicles in the game where you just gently tap it. But without further ado, let's move over to the fastest car in GTA 5 Online. Alright, so the number 1 or the fastest car in GTA 5 Online in 2023 goes over to the classy Vigero ZX. With a top speed of 157 miles per hour, this car is definitely worth your money. Now, with a price tag of just under $2 million for purchasing the car, with an additional $550,000 for the HSW upgrades, this will definitely be worth your money. Now, what's actually impressive on Rockstar's part is actually how accurate they got this car to the real life Camaro. Now, for those who actually don't know what this car is actually based off of, it is actually based off the Chevrolet Camaro ZL1, which was released in 2017 to 2018. Now, the fact that Rockstar pretty much perfectly replicated this car is again very impressive. Now, what's also really good with this car is the amount of customizations. There are actually, surprisingly, a good amount of customizations to go along with this car. But overall, this is definitely one of my favorite cars in GTA 5 Online, and a top speed of 157 miles per hour definitely claims this to be the fastest car in GTA 5 Online in 2023. Now, just before I do wrap up this video, there are actually no flaws with this car. So the top speed, the handling, the acceleration, everything is just very nice and smooth. And again, for a car that's worth $2.4 million plus a few upgrades to purchase, this is definitely worth your money if you guys do have a budget of $2.5 million. But anyways, this will be a wrap up for today's video. If you haven't already, make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more, as we're currently on the road to 10,000 subscribers. See all you guys later. Peace.